So we're going to do, it does seem to be heading towards Twin Dams. We know he likes that area. So we're going to meander slowly that way and see what else we can find. It's also getting to that time of the evening where it isn't, there's probably only about 10 or 15 more minutes, maybe a little bit longer, where it's safe to walk. We are getting into the time of the day when human beings forego their dominant diurnal status, dominant predator status, and we become one of the prey species after dark on foot. So I don't want to wander around too much once it gets a bit darker. Being off my vehicle for 10, any updates? I can hear birds alarming, but right in the center of about 5 of those little drainage lines, probably about 150 meters to the north of the road. I'm going to head down to the bottom corner and then just stand by here for a while, see if I hear anything else. So where I heard those birds, it's sort of in there. You can see it's very thick, quite deceptive. If you swing the camera into this gap here. So we actually, and zoom in between these two trees. So somewhere in there. And that's actually the top of the trees you're looking at. That drops down into those drainage systems. I don't know, I just want to check this last corner, see if there's any tracks that might pop out into the road. Because if he did decide to follow the edge of that drainage line, depending on which drainage line he chose, could be in this area somewhere. Checking here where the road's nice and sandy, so it's easier to see tracks. There aren't any coming out. do is we'll check down to Gowrie Mains and we'll come back to that corner and then sit there for a few minutes. If we get nothing while sitting there, we'll move on and see what else we can find. Check here at Franklin Alarming. Just want to check the road. guys, if you have any questions, please send your questions through on email to questions@wildearth.tv, or use the hashtag Safari Live if you're on Twitter. Family of Franklin in the road. Go ahead. We had quarantine. We lost him in the block between Leadwood and Mumba Road. There's 2 stations and they're still trying to relocate. And I think there was a single Madora and Jovo on Cheetah Cutla and Buffalo's Hook somewhere. Keep half expecting him to be on the road walking towards us. Oh, some elephant in the road in front of us. I see a elephant. Let's have a look if there's more. And how convenient. The elephant's in the exact same spot I wanted to wait. Gav coming. Yeah, there's a single young Madora and Clovo that's come out where I've been waiting, if you're interested. Hello, little boy. Today's probably early 20s. Been pushed out of the breeding herds, so wandering around by himself at the moment. Sometimes they will join into little groups of young males to wander around together. He's decided the gap between us and the tree is not enough. He's going to go a little bit wider around us. walking parallel to us through the bush. And there's a bit of a clear shot for VM as he moves on to a slightly more open area. We've already had a nice close view of him, so there's no need for us to go bash and crash after him. And we've got a nice view from where we are. Well, had a nice view from where we are. So he's smelling something on the ground there. Might have found a tasty treat. Yep. It's a bit far for us to see what it is. So he's found another titbit to stop for. Whatever he's eating, it's obviously not a lot of it. So he just used to pick up one or two pieces and then move on again. He's moving quite quickly towards our southern boundary. So while we've got him and before it gets dark, we'll just stick with him as he ambles us south. So if anyone has any questions, please send them through via email to questions@WildEarthTV, or just use the hashtag SafariLive if you're on Twitter. Looks like he's eating a young bush willow, but it is quite difficult in this light and at this distance to see exactly what he's eating. Radio check, Nikki, do you copy? Copy, thanks. Good evening, Angela from Boston. Angela would like to know, with this being a lone elephant, what are the chances of... Oh, there's alarm calls, guys. I think our waiting's paid off. It sounds like Inyala and Kudu alarming up ahead, very close. So I think that's Mr. Q again. But Angela, back to your question, that elephant's probably over 20 years old. He's sort of out of that danger zone. He's a bit old for the lions to take on. Elephants are about 5 or 6 years younger than that are far more likely to be attacked by a large pride of lions. Okay, we're just gonna... Oh, bouncy, bouncy. There we go. Okay, that's got the audio of the alarm calls again. Off to my left here. Okay, do you have the audio of those alarm calls? There you go. Copy. Have you come across Land Rover yet? Okay, copy. Down on Leadwood, very close to the junction with Karula, there were kudu alarm calling in the block just to the east of the road. I'm very close to the area now. I don't have a visual, but it is quite thick. FM, I'm very close to the main road, Gari Main. FM, I think that would be quite a good idea. So those alarm calls were right there. Just don't want to go rushing, crashing. Oh, that was close. In case he spotted, he might just pop out onto the road. And the other vehicle who's been waiting in the same area with us is going to go out onto the main road, which is just to the left of us here, to see if he pops out there. So there's a good chance we're going to be able to relocate. So the alarm calls were right there, just off to our right. It's a very thick little patch. Check around the corner, and then if not, we're going to go in there. It's a bit more open. That's our friend the elephant has come through to the same area, the same elephant we were just looking at. Alarm calls were right around here. I think we're going to head down towards Gowrie Main and have a look. Oh, keeping in the general area of the road. I think we're going to stop right here. So I know the other vehicle is coming from that side. And it's possible he might move a little bit up. He might move onto this main road. So I'm just stop where I can see long distance in both directions and opposite where the alarm calls were coming from. I know there's a big animal path up there. I just want to check quickly. Here's the animal path. There's nothing here, so we're just gonna stand by. So apparently there's a few of you worried about that elephant's condition we just saw. He looked in perfect health to me. he didn't look malnourished or anything. You would see there's sort of hollows behind the eye sockets that start becoming very, very hollow when an elephant is in bad condition. Also, the hip bone starts sticking out. I didn't notice any of that. He looked in perfectly healthy condition for an elephant. We're just going to sit here for a few moments. Good afternoon, Laura. Welcome on Game Drive with us. Laura is asking about a joke I made earlier in the drive about rubbing the right amount of buttered popcorn on myself before Game Drive to attract leopards. Laura, what that is, a leopard scent mark actually smells very, very similar to buttered popcorn. So when they urinate and we see them scent mark on trees and that smell is very, very similar to buttered popcorn, and that's why I made that joke. So those leopard alarm calls were about 100 meters in the direction my torch is shining now. So it's likely that leopard's going to pop out around here somewhere. Make sure he's... Oh, there he is. He came out behind us. Cheeky little leopard. He snuck in behind us. Cheeky leopard. But as I've been saying, patience is the most important thing while you're out here. Because just staying in that area a little bit longer, even though nothing was around, has resulted in us catching up with the leopard again. No, it is possible it could be a different leopard, but it's unlikely. It's the right direction. He must have crossed between the two vehicles where we were waiting, and then just staying in that area and having those alarm calls is what attracted us to him, or made us enabled us to find him again. That does look like him, but I can't really see from this distance. What was that? Looks like it might be a female. How's it, guys? How's it? Yeah, just patience. Just, I actually think this might be a different leopard. I think this is looking like a female from the back, and I think it could be Karula. So this is not the same leopard we were waiting for. This is his mom. So it's still quite possible another leopard might pop up on the road behind, because young males will often follow their mom. And now there's another alarm call off to our left, and I don't think it's at her. That was quite far off, and you can see she's now listening to it. And I don't think that's at her, and this is not the same leopard we were following earlier. Is this Tandy? Okay, so this is actually a leopard I don't know. Thanks, M4. I thought it might be Karula, but I haven't had a good look yet. Oh. So one of the other game drives vehicles is saying this looks like Tandy. I'm just going to try get a close-up picture of her face when she turns around again, so I can check the spot pattern. Yeah, and the W and the, I think it is Karula, that W in the, in the, spot pattern on the left-hand side. Yeah. Also, Quarantine was actually who I was following up on then, who I had this morning, and she popped out on the road while we were waiting for him. He was heading south. No, last I had him was in the block, probably about 500 meters from the boundary. Go for it. Come on. So we're just going to let the other guys have a chance up ahead. So one of the other vehicles next to us has just said those alarm calls to our left are more than likely from the Styx lions that they left sleeping probably 300 meters from here. And for those of you who were watching last night, this is where all the pandemonium broke, where we had lions and 3 leopard in a sighting. So the lions haven't moved that far. Remember, Scott and I had their tracks this morning crossing here, and we haven't seen Karula since last night. So for those of you who are worried that she might have been caught by the lions, she most definitely wasn't, and she's alive and well. It is possible she might head south. If she heads south from here, we're not going to be able to follow her because this is our boundary road. Make sure we don't have our Quarantine following up behind us. Stations we've located at Mafazi Yengwe on Gari Main, heading west from Twin Dams Junction. Como. So what we're doing is we all taking a turn in the front while she's walking down the road. We call it leapfrogging, and it is important because everyone must get a chance to spend some time with these animals. So we're going very slowly, and just everyone spends a few minutes up ahead with her before letting the next person go with her. And especially, well, two of us cannot go. If she crosses to the left-hand side of the road, we can't follow her. So it's very important that we share the sighting and give everyone an opportunity to view these animals. She's probably going to have a sniff and a scent mark. There we go. For those who are asking about the buttered popcorn joke earlier, now that she's just scent marked, when we drive past there, you'll be able to smell buttered popcorn. Unfortunately, you guys who are so far away are not going to be able to, but VM and I will. So she's scent marked on this tree right here. There it is. You smell it, VM? It smells like we're going to the movies. So we're going to let the other vehicle go in front for a while when we get a chance to move off the road so they can pass nice and easily. So for those guys who were asking, one of the trackers from the lodges to the south of us thought it might be a female leopard called Tundi, but as soon as I got to see her forehead, I could see that W quite distinctly, and I'm pretty confident that it is Karula, not Tundi. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed that one of our roads to the right is coming up and that she decides to take that. So we're just going to let another vehicle have a turn in the front. Wow, isn't that? See, that's the wonderful thing about the bush. You never know. So we were looking for quarantine and we find Karula, and they must have been very close to each other. So, everyone, we wanted to go right, not left. Right, not left. Haven't we been spoiled? After a quiet morning, we've now seen two different leopards. The first was a quarantine male leopard, who's a young male leopard. And the second is his mother, Karula. And just to recap again, I know a lot of you were quite worried about her last night after that little run-in with the lions. But as you can see, she is very alive and well. I mean, she was actually quite cheeky with the lions last night. She could see both those lionesses, and she still went to drink directly opposite them at the dam. And she knew she was fast enough that they were not going to get near her if they did decide to come to the other side of the dam. So the reason we've turned off all the lights is she stopped, and it looks like she might have seen something to the right in the bush. And as I'm sure most of you know who've been on a few drives with us, but this is just for the new viewers, to make sure you understand. So at night, we don't want to affect the outcome. We don't want to make it easier for her or harder for her. And the same goes for the prey species like impala. So when we think she might have seen something and she might want to hunt, we turn off all our lights and we just stay quietly and listen. Because we are here to observe. We don't want to interfere either in the predator's favor or in the prey species' favor. So she's stopping at another bush again. Looks like she will scent mark there as well. Disappeared into the bush. And she's back. So that road that runs north into Djuma is coming up. She's on the northern side of the road, so we can only sort of cross our fingers that she turns to the right. Good evening, Sandy from Palm City. Sandy would like to know if Karula is heading back towards the dam to see if Mvula and Kwatile are still there. Sandy, we passed that dam quite a while ago. She walked straight past it. It is possible that she might have followed them through south of our boundary, maybe to the edge of her boundary, where I think they were seen this morning, where Kwatile moved off out of Karula's territory. So she might have followed them that far just to ensure that they didn't, that female leopard left her territory, and then come back, and now she's scent marking all her boundaries. Andrew coming. Andrew, what area are you going to be coming from? If you are coming from Gowrie Main towards Twin Dams from the east, we also had quarantine in that area earlier this afternoon, and we lost him about 500 meters to the north of Gowrie Main. Just to update, Karula has turned north on Weaver's Nest. Okay. Copy, thanks. So guys, I just got an update on the radio. So the quarantine young male leopard who we were following earlier, I said he likes to pop out in Twin Dams. Another vehicle's just found him at Twin Dams, and that's very close to where we found his mom as well. So it looks like the leopards are the stars of the show this evening, all over the place. Standing by. Hi fam, we're on Weaver's Nest, junction with Gowrie Main, but there's only 2 vehicles here. You may. We're probably only 50 meters from the junction with Gowrie Main at the moment. She's still mobile north on Weaver's Nest. Sorry, next go again. Good evening, Valerie from Pennsylvania. Valerie would like to know whether leopards just scent mark the boundaries, or do they do the rest of the area too? They will scent mark more on the boundaries, but they do scent mark through the rest of their territory as well, especially on the more used areas. So prominent roads that they utilize, prominent game paths that they utilize, they will scent mark those as well as the boundaries. And you must remember, a leopard boundary is not really set in stone. It's not like a wall that another leopard won't cross. Quite a lot of the boundaries will be quite porous, so there will be an overlap between the animals. So we're just going to keep with the leapfrogging system. And she's going to scent mark again. No, it should look like she was on that branch. There's now 3 stations with Djuma and Mobile North on Weaver's Nest. just going to see if there's a spot where we can get up ahead of her. She's just moved into the quarry thickets just to the right of us. Copy, thanks. Looks like she's taking a little rest, so we're just up ahead of her. We're going to sit here. We're just going to let so Quarantine's popped out at Twin Dams, and same place she popped out. I wonder if she heard those kudu alarm calling at him, and I'm pretty sure the kudu were alarm calling at Quarantine, and then I think I'd have to check the tracks again in the morning. I think Karula actually came from the south, so she appeared from the south, so she came from the other property and then onto the road, and that's where we spotted her. Whereas I'm pretty sure those kudu alarm calls we're following up on were at Quarantine. Relocated. She's stationary. General direction is still north though. So can you go again with that update? Alright, Kobe, thanks very much for that update. Good evening, Alan. to know, because these leopards have been in such close proximity to each other recently, have they been passing each other peacefully, or have they've been avoiding each other? I think at the moment Karula will try to avoid her younger sons. She doesn't really want them. The last time I think I saw Djuma and Karula Yeah, that's in Arathusa. It's not really a cub, she's probably 9 months, 10 months. Tiny little bit of rain we had has brought the bugs back. Good evening, Tiger on Twitter. Tiger would like to know how large our Traverse area is. Tiger, our Traverse area is 1,500 hectares, and I'm not sure how many roads and how many kilometers of roads are in that Traverse area. I will have to have a look or ask someone who knows. Anyway, she's just crossed west over Weaver's Nest. Still 2 stations here. No, she's near the junction to Treehouse Road, but she's in that corner block between Treehouse and Weaver's Nest. FM, I'm going to stay with her. I can try to keep her to your right. as I'm just trying to concentrate on getting through here. Always more difficult driving through these areas at night. And also what I'm trying to do is try to get into a position where we're ahead of her so we can just switch off and let her move through the bush for a bit without the vehicles around her moving all the time. Gab, do you guys still have visual? Affirmative, you're more than welcome. Okay, copy, thanks. Go ahead. Copy, I'll head that way. So apparently, while we were trying to get around in front of her, she was chased by a hyena back towards the road we were originally on. It's a hyena. And then what's that? Behind the hyena? A second hyena. I've got, yeah. Yeah, I've confirmed those two sets of eyes close to you are both hyenas.
Hyena?
One, two. Not right, they're both hyenas. So they're the hyenas that chased her. That's not going to work. How am I behind me there?
Yeah.
She was in the block to the west of Weaver's Nest, probably about 300 meters to the south of junction with Treehouse. She was about 100 meters into the block when she was chased back towards Weaver's Nest by Termnis. You okay there, Jim? You see anything down the road there, Vim? Yeah. I'm not. Go for it. So there's been a bit of speculation whether Kwatila and Karula are related. They are not related, just to clarify that. So this is where the hyena, there's some hyena tracks here. Standing by. Try treehouse towards Shabam. So just stand by, I'm just checking Kondo. We're now quite far, but there's a vehicle. Is that your lights behind you? Yeah, there's still a Mnisi just popped up in front of us here. And the last place we saw was probably 100 meters to the west. Mnisis are from going north, south east. Now they're coming back to the road. They're running around in circles here, folks. So there's a hyena. I think what we're going to do is there's a bit too much, there's a lot of hyena activity in this area, so we're just going to switch off and wait and listen. So guys, we don't want to, I think everyone here is, the guys are going to have a look at the hyena and everyone's going to leave this area. It was okay while the bush wasn't too thick. The area she was heading into is getting thicker, and the fact that there are hyenas here, obviously we don't want to interfere and put her at risk. So I think everyone here is just having a quick look at the hyenas and then they're going to move out. Thanks very much for joining VM and myself here on the vehicle this evening. And Nikki and FC. We've had a wonderful evening, some really nice birds that led to a wonderful leopard, and then really nice to catch up with Karula again, the Queen of Djuma. So nice to know she got out of that lion encounter last night completely unscathed, and always exciting to see her and catch up with her. But so from all of us here at the Wild Earth team, wherever you might be in the world, have a wonderful evening or day, wherever you might be, and I hope you'll join us all again tomorrow morning. Good night.